Today I want to talk about something I honestly never thought I would talk about, and that's going to be religion and faith. The reason being, I've been going to church for the past couple weeks, and I kind of want to document how this journey is going to turn. And First, let's just talk about why I'm doing this, anyways, because I've never been a religious person in my life, or even really faithful, to be honest. Um, the first reason is being, I know someone that said that when she was young and she was in a bad kind of mental space or mentality, she found religion to be one of the things that helped her out of it. And, I figured, she turned out to be a pretty decent person, so let me try and see if it helps me a little bit. And the second reason is the main reason, honestly, is I want to see if I could find a little fulfillment in religion and faith. And honestly, I'm not really doing it for the religious part. I don't really find it to be very enticing. I think it's the more faithful part, the faith part, that's what I'm more drawn towards. I want to see, is it possible for me to feel or be passionate about it as some of the people that I know. And the third reason is just honestly like a minor side effect, is just to meet some people, make some friends. That's all. Um, but yeah, these are the three main reasons that I'm doing it. Um, Maybe these reasons will change throughout time. I don't know, but this is what I'm starting with, and let's talk about what my experiences have been so far. So far, it's been good. I went to this church called Gator Christian Life, GLC for short, and everyone's really, really friendly. Everyone's really chill, most of them, and they're very fun overall. I went to a couple of their meetings and stuff, Sunday services. I just got back from one, actually. Um, Everyone's really nice. Everyone's very willing to teach too. I mean, when I went to a service like a micro church, or they call it house church, basically a smaller version of the church. When I went to that, one of the people, she took like 30 or 40 minutes after the service to explain to me a lot about like the basic things about Christianity and religion, and how Jesus is the bridge between God and people, and how sins play in part of all of this. It's pretty cool, I like it. And the Sunday services has been pretty interesting too. They talk a lot about the passages and what they mean and how it applies to us in real life. And obviously, there's a lot of singing involved. I've been to churches throughout my life when I got to America, but I never really got into it, because I think most of the time I was more coerced or not brought along other people. I never really wanted to go by myself. I never really took the initiative anyways, so it was never a really thing that I wanted to do. And I think this time will be a little different, because I'm the one that actually want to go. I'm the one that's actually making the effort to go and stuff, to try to learn and try to see what it's like. So I think this time is a lot different. And throughout all these churches, I went to a greenhouse one before. I have to say, I like the Gator Christian a little bit more. Just because their pastors, when they talk about, the passages and things, it's more applicable and realistic to me. As much I am as open minded, no, as open minded as I am, I'm also very realistic still. And I remember when I used to go to the Green House Church, they would kind of talk about some stories that were like almost bizarre to me, and I could not relate to that. I get it. It's very hopeful. It creates a kind of a almost like a rewarding feeling hearing that story. Like, wow, my religion can do that or something. That's cool and all, but it repels a realistic person like me because I don't follow that, and honestly, I think it's more BS almost to me. Not saying it's wrong or fake, but I'm just saying it doesn't give the same effect of faithfulness to me. Like it actually pushes me away more. But the GLC, the Gator Life, GCL, Greater Christian Life, is pretty good about that. They talk more about how you could treat other people well, how you can use these things to help you. Like it's just more applicable, and honestly, it's more rewarding almost to listen to those things. And it's funny because I have two roommates, Peter and Sam, and Peter on one hand is making fun of me for doing this. He's calling me gay and things like that. And then Sam, on the other hand, is really, really supportive. Actually, he's like, pushing me to go and stuff, so which I really appreciate actually. But today I had a little moment actually. It's nothing religion related actually, which is funny, but it was at the church service, and I met this mentally retarded guy. His name was Josh, and he was such an outgoing and nice and giving person, and he has such a positive outlook on life, and I felt very happy for him, and I felt very just I don't know, just positive around him. But then I also felt jealousy, honestly. I felt a sense of jealousy because I was jealous of his naivety. I was jealous of his kind of never ending energy, of positive energy almost. And lastly, I'm jealous of how he is treated in this community, because he was accepted by everyone, everyone treated him so nice, and he treated everyone else very nice, obviously. And it's just very, very rewarding to see how this community accepted him as who he was, and how nice they were about it, and how nice he became as a result of it. Well, maybe maybe he's genuinely just a nice guy. Maybe, I don't know, but I like to believe that this church community probably played a part in making him such a cheerful, joyful, and just overall nice person. But seeing him reminded me of my cousin back in Guangzhou, and just the stark contrast between them. There's differences. Like my cousin can't walk or talk as well as him, but they're still both mentally, on the same page. Honestly, like they're not very smart intellectually, I'll say, and they probably have the social awareness of like a 14 or 15-year-old. But you can see the difference between them is drastic. It's like my cousin has a pretty negative outlook of life because he hates my other cousin, his stepsister, Mei Chi. He believes that Mei Chi stole his happiness, because, my uncle remarried. So he believes that she took his place, which is semi-true, but also just a negative kind of outlook. And I don't think he's ever shaken that off of him. And he still gets mad at her and yells at her on video calls and everything. Meanwhile, this Joshua guy is just so cheerful and he's independent. He has a house, not house, he has an apartment. Granted, it's, disabled people, but still, he's independent. He has a job. And as a matter of fact, he actually lost his job. But instead of, feeling bad about it, he's actually excited because he said he is excited that he's gonna go to the next job and he's excited to try to find it and stuff. It was really cool to see a guy like that with his status and his condition. While my cousin is just he doesn't have the same support system that this guy has, and also he doesn't have the privilege that Joshua has because of the difference of country. China don't give a crap about disabled people at all, and most of the sorry, most of all, they never accepted them. They always viewed the disabled people as an outcast, and they're never really incorporating them into any society really in China. Meanwhile, here in America, he is really never treated like an outsider. He's part of the family in the church, and it's just so cool to see that, but also really sad for me because I just wish my cousin could have received the same kind of treatment, and maybe he would have been different. Maybe he would have recovered faster, or maybe he would be a different kind of guy now. I don't know. But I'm just, it's just something I thought of today while I was there. And obviously, it also made me realize how privileged I am to be, this able-bodied person and able to assimilate into this culture pretty easily, I will say, without really any obstacles. And I'm happy that I'm able to do what I have done in this country so far. And yeah, I just keep reminding myself not to take everything for granted. When you look at these things, it kind of makes you realize how much we've taken things for granted, and even the small things, So just a little something, I guess, in my journey, and we'll see how I feel in a couple of weeks. Because right now, I'm still at that stage where I get bored so easily when when the pastor starts talking. I still am at that stage, and it kind of annoys me at times too when they analyze the crap out of a sentence, and I just feel like it's saying that and that alone, but they said it's like they expanded upon things like, oh, God is great, God is awesome, or when the sentence had nothing to do with that. I don't know. It just bothers me a little bit. Maybe I'm just not at that stage where I can really appreciate the sentence. Maybe. So I'll keep my mind open and just go with the flow right now and see how I feel later. But it annoys me a little bit right now about that stuff. And at every church, there's always different kinds of people. There's the fanatics in my head who just like goes crazy almost, where they just praise the Lord for everything, and then there's the chill people, and then there's other groups of people. But maybe, well, I'll see how I feel. Maybe one day I'll become the fanatic. Nah, I'm just joking. I'll never do that, but we'll see.